everyone, it's Tani Games here. Welcome back to the channel. Just a little bit of a tip video or tutorial video. We did talk about this on stream and whether I should make it a video, and you guys said yes, so I'm finally getting around to doing it now that I have a day off from my course. So I'm excited to sort of get into this and showcase how I think is the best way to use this item. Now, I did briefly talk about this in the premium shop review when the item was released, but I didn't go into depth. So this is going to go into depth a bit more. So basically it's to do with gathering villagers for Dreamsnaps, and we are going to use this item here, the Cocoa stage. Now, you don't necessarily have to use this specific item. If you have the Ursula bundle, you could use the Ursula stage, or we are going to have an event very soon that's going to bring a fire pit, and you could use the fire pit as well. But we're going to go with the Cocoa stage at the moment. Now, what you're going to need to do with this, just as your first initial setup, is in one biome, you're going to place the stage or fire pit, depending on what you use. We're going to place a well. We're going to surround it with a fence or any kind of barricade, basically. I have used a fence because that makes it easier. And then what you're going to do is, in a very different biome, wherever you're doing your dream snap, you are going to set up another well, and you're also going to barricade that in based on where you want your villagers to be. So here I have used a couple of I was going to say Big Red 6, but that's not right. What's it called? Big Hero 6. What is Big Red 6? I've used a couple of the Big Hero 6 items, a couple of bushes here, and also this barricade thing as well, just to obviously keep the villagers in, stop them escaping. But you could use any kind of fencing, effectively, whatever works to keep the villagers secure and trapped and stuff like that. So like I said, you could do fencing if you wanted, or whatever it may be. You could use the lights, anything like that you want to use for trapping villagers, you can do so. So whatever works for your build and setup. You may even have, for instance, a setup where you plan to trap the villagers with these kind of things. Like, you want them individually trapped rather than loose and kind of roaming around a bigger area, in which case you could sort of initially try and set that up as well. So that's the kind of key setup that we're going to do. And one of the key things we're going to need is the map as well. But before we do that, what you're going to have to do is interact with the stage as many times as it takes to gather how many villagers you want. So it may be that you want every single villager, in which case you're going to need to interact with this quite a few times to gather every single villager. It may be that you only want specific villagers. So for the princess challenge, I just basically did this till I had all the princesses that I wanted. So Elsa, Anna, Vanellope, Tiana, etc. You can literally just do this based on however many villagers you want to get. Now, I would hope that at some point perhaps we might get an upgrade to this feature where we could select what villagers we have come to the item. That would be nice. It would make things a lot easier in terms of doing specific theme dream snaps. And this is really great if you've got characters that are inside buildings. So you might have one character who's scheduled to be inside their home, You might have one character who's scheduled to be in the restaurant. You might have another one scheduled to be in the Scrooge shop. This is a great way around that, because this will actually pull villagers from the Scrooge shop. It'll pull them from the restaurant, and things like that, and even things from like characters from Eternity Isle are included. Obviously you can see here that the Forgotten is included, so literally sort of all the characters can be brought in this way. I'm going to keep doing this in the hopes that I can get every character. It might take a few tries. You might need to spam this a bit. It's a process, but it's not too long. I'm hoping that I can kind of talk through all of this so you can see in real time just how long this takes. If I go onto my map, you can sort of see we've still got a few people in the shop. We've got someone in the restaurant here. We've got a couple of other people dotted around. So we've still got a little bit to go. Like I said, I was hoping to make it so that it's not too long of a video. But I also want you to kind of to understand the kind of work that would usually go into this. Now, you might be fortunate and it might pull everyone a lot quicker than it is for me, but again, that's kind of like so random. It's just RNG, so it's impossible to determine just how long it's going to be. Now, one thing I would say, if you do this, to have a bigger space is sometimes a bit better, because when you have that bigger space, the characters can start to roam around. They can walk away from the stage. If you wanted to, you could probably place a couple of wondrous items, because I believe the characters do like to interact with those and sort of take a look at them, especially the books. The books are what like most of my characters, I would say, interact with. So maybe if you've got a couple of piles of books or something like that, you could probably stack those down, and it will probably help to draw some characters away, because they might want to go and interact with it. They love interacting with the furniture pieces. So here we go. Let me have a look and see how many more people. We've got Wally. Wally and Remy and Goofy are still to come, it looks like. I think everyone else. Oh no, we've got Belle. I should make sure these are all visible so we can see. I forgot I turned some of these characters off. So there's a little bit more than I initially said. It will pull characters that are greyed out. Like we saw, we had Jack already. We've already got Oswald and Daisy in the group. So yeah, you can sort of see now just how many more people we've got to get. So it's just a case of interacting a little bit more to get them to pull over. They will eventually come. It just takes a few tries.
I haven't seen a lot of grubs around.
Oh yeah, and there's another thing. Obviously Jack does his trick where he can draw the attention to the villagers, so that might come in handy a bit later. Probably less so at the moment, but certainly for later, for the Dreamsnaps, it probably has a bit more of an impact. But we're getting there. We're slowly getting there. We've managed to pull Wally, which is good. So like I said, you do have to spam this a few times. So don't get frustrated if you haven't got them all in one go. Like I said, it's random. So it'll even pull the characters that are in here. This is why if I'm doing this, I would wait till all the characters that you want are in this kind of designated zone. Because if you do it a bit too soon and you start dragging villagers over as soon as they appear in this barricade, you could end up pulling them back, which obviously isn't very, very beneficial. So you can see here we've still got Goofy, Belle, Remy, Nala and Woody to go. We will get there. We will get there, I promise you. No, not yet. I was like trying to see. As you can see, it's quite chaotic. Okay, we've got Goofy. We've got Remy. There we go. So we are getting there. Slowly but surely. Pulling them all in. Now, obviously, if you wanted to, you could just use this item as is, pull over a few characters, and then just snap a photo. But I honestly feel like that's gonna look a bit awkward, I guess you could say. Like in my eyes, that's how I envision it. It looks like we've still got Belle, Nala, and Woody to pull, but then that's it. So let's keep going.
I'm so glad you're my friend.
Okay. Oh, Jack's doing his thing, I think. Or he was. Because that's why you can't push the characters. There we go. Move away, everyone. Okay.
My best friend Ralph is a knucklehead, but I love him.
Okay, we've got Woody. So I think the only other person is Belle. So, I mean, if you were really struggling to get Belle, at this point, if it's just one villager, I mean, we've pulled her in now, but you could, in theory, come out of this space and then grab her if you needed to. So, we've got all the villagers in here now. Oh, no, we've still not got Nala. Well, here we go. I can actually show you a good example of what I mean. In terms of it being okay if there's only one villager left. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go to the plaza here. And then let's say we need Nala. I'm going to speak to her and I'm going to ask her to hang out. Now, when you ask villagers to hang out with you, they will transport to fast travel wells that you go to. So my Dreamsnap is up here in the Frosted Heights. So we'll transport there. Nala's here with us and then we can talk to her and then stop hanging out. Now, it's important that you stop hanging out because otherwise when you go back over here, you're not going to be able to, you're going to drag her back over, basically. Now, as you can see here, there's a lot of villagers around. It's very chaotic. You cannot see the fast travel point to click on. This is going to happen. Don't be alarmed. What you can do is when you're in the map menu, for me, it's the button T because I play on mouse and keyboard, but if you look at the bottom of your screen, there'll be a button for zoom, a button for fast travel, and a button for toggle filters. So you just press the fast travel one and it will show you the places you can fast travel to. So for me, I would fast travel to the Sunlit Plateau and then I can talk to someone over here and drag them over. Now, obviously, the bigger the space, the easier it is because you're less likely to do silly little things like that where you talk to the wrong character. So here we're going to talk to Belle. We're going to say, let's hang out. And then we're going to click it and then we're going to go over to the Frosted Heights. Now, because there's less people at the Frosted Heights at the moment, I can just click on the well on the screen. But if there was a lot of people in this section, then obviously, like I said, you can just press T and you can click the specified area that you want to fast travel to. That's why you're going to need two of these sort of fast travel points in different areas. So let's hang out again. And then, like I said, you fast travel back to where your setup is. Now, I'm going to stop it here because obviously, however many villagers you want is up to you. If you were doing a setup where you wanted all the characters, I would have the stage set up and then just spam that button to get all the villagers in. But if you want certain villagers for a specific theme, like we had the Princess Dreamsnap theme, you would summon, for instance, the princesses, and then what I would do is I would remove the well. There's no need to keep it like in the shot still. And then what you could do, for instance, if you want them in specific locations, let me push Belle here. You could even hang out with her to make it a bit easier. We'll trap her in this square. We'll quickly press the furniture mode to stop her getting out. We'll place this down and there you go. She's trapped there. And as I said, you could do like different techniques. Like if you want them roaming around like how Tiana and Nala are, you can leave it like that. Or as I said, if you want them trapped, you could have what I've done with Belle. Put her in a little section, whatever you use to keep villagers trapped. and then you just go into photo mode and you take your photo, and that's it. Easy done. And now obviously this isn't quite a brilliant snap because I've just left Nala roaming around and stuff like that, and it's not very well positioned, but this is basically how I think is the most effective way to use that the fast travel and the stage options to pick specific villagers to be in your shot. As I said, very, very beneficial for if you are trying to pull villagers from different spaces, say the home, the restaurant, and the Scrooge store, because that is the only way currently to obtain villagers from those different locations. Because if you go in and out of buildings, hanging out with people, it resets. So unfortunately, like I said, it's not very, very beneficial. And as I said, if you wanted like all the villagers, for instance, I mean, I know we haven't got all the villagers here in the Sunlit Plateau at the moment because I moved some of them. But again, you could kind of do this sort of setup. You could remove the well, for instance. You could move the Coco stage. And then you could go into your camera mode and then just snap your photo. However you want it. Look, we're just gathering everyone here for a selfie. A nice, fun time. Obviously, it's very chaotic. I wouldn't have this as a snap either. But you can sort of get the idea of how this feature works and its benefits and stuff like that. So yeah, you could very much easily do this, have this be your snap area with all the villagers, and get them into place and stuff like that. So just depends the kind of snap that you want to take, how many villagers you need and things like that. But this is my recommendation of how to use this item. So as I said in my premium shop video, the best use for this item currently is just to summon villagers and to get them all in one location so you can use them for Dreamsnaps, because I think the randomness of this makes it a bit harder to use for specifics, so you really have to kind of pull everyone in. And like I said, if you only wanted certain villagers, say you just wanted Moana ones, you would just wait till you had the Moana ones in and have it be done there. So anyway, I hope this helps explain how to use this item for Dreamsnaps, how to gather villagers. It should make it a lot easier now when we have those challenges that like suggest using multiple villagers and stuff like that. And like I said, hopefully I have also showcased enough the ways to kind of trap villagers in place. For instance, in case you want to keep them in set locations, like I said, just pull a couple of them over. You can either push them around or you can hang out with them and sort of lure them into a space and trap them with furniture items and decor, depending on, like I said, the setup of your Dreamsnaps really going to dictate how you trap villagers in. Obviously, the photo sort of angle that you use. So for instance, if I take a photo and I'm doing it from this level, this selfie level, then I could hide items below where my character's body is if needed. Obviously, when you do a full shot like this, it's usually a bit harder to hide those elements that you would use to trap a villager in. But if you're using like for instance, one of these kind of angles, again, sort of cut off at my knees, I could hide items below the knee point, say like rocks and things like that, and use that as a useful way for trapping villagers as well. Anyway, I've waffled on long enough. It's been almost a 20-minute video. I hope this helps explain. I hope you find this useful. And I'll see you all in the next video. Bye, guys!